Hello Scene Peepers. Welcome back to our channel. Do you enjoy our video so far? Today I would like to explain a 2016 dark fantasy drama film called A Monster Calls. The plot focuses on the life of a 12-year-old kid named Connor O'Malley who is about to lose his mother because of the latter's serious illness. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy and take care. The story begins with the scene in which Connor is having a nightmare about how he lets his mom's hand go, while a mysterious earthquake happens in their neighborhood. Awoke exactly at 12:07 a.m. in the middle of the night, Connor runs to his room's window and sees an old big yew tree outside his house. The earthquake in his dream happens exactly under that tree. The next morning, after doing some house chores and checking his sick mom in her room, Connor walks to school. He has no interest in the math subject and drawing instead. It is later revealed in the film that Connor is often bullied by his classmate, Harry, and several other students. They beat and kick him after school. Connor then walks back home where he meets his mom. His mom shows Connor his grandpa's old film projector. Connor looks amazed by that old film projector and they both spend the night together, watching old King Kong movies. During their brief conversation, his mom consoles Connor. Later, Connor's mom falls asleep before the film finishes. That night, Connor can't sleep and spends his time drawing while listening to music. Something weird happened that night. He hears some strange voices that he doesn't know what it is. Suddenly, the wind blows hard as if the heavy rain is gonna pour down. Connor opens his window and sees the yew tree turn into a monster. The monster is big and its eyes glimmer like fire. The monster approaches Connor's house slowly, destroying several things in his way. The monster told Connor that it will come every night to tell him 3 stories and in the end, Connor must tell the 4th. The 4th story is the truth behind his nightmare. It just feels like another nightmare for Connor as it perishes after it appears. Connor feels uneasy and goes to his mom's room to sleep with her that night. The next morning, Connor goes to see the tree again. The tree stands still as if it never moves. That morning, Connor's grandma comes to their home to help, bringing some stuff for his mom including a blonde wig. While making tea in the kitchen, Connor overhears his mom and his grandma arguing. His grandma later tells Connor that he will stay with her because his mom's condition is getting worse after the treatment. Connor refuses. He believes that his mom will get better and he doesn't have to stay with his strict grandma. However, his mom suddenly collapses and Connor seems to understand how bad the situation is. That night, exactly at 12:07 a.m., the monster comes to tell Connor the first story. He tells Connor a tale about a witch queen and a prince. It is said in the story that the witch queen rules the kingdom after the king dies. The prince always thought that the queen killed his grandpa to become his successor. The queen wants to marry the prince to keep her position, but the prince has fallen in love with a farmer's daughter. The lovers then run together. One day, the prince finds out that his bride has died, and he accuses the queen of the murder. People are angry with the queen and want to overthrow her, but the tree monster later decides to help the queen escape. At first, Connor doesn't understand why the monster helps the queen. The monster tells him that the queen never murdered the king or the bride. The king died because of his old age and the bride was killed by the prince. There are always 2 sides to the story. People can be good and bad at the same time. The following day, after coming back from school, Connor's grandma tells him that he will be staying in her place temporarily. Connor is also told that his dad is going to visit him from America. Connor later goes to his mom's room and talks to her. His mom assures him that she will get better after receiving the next treatment, and asks him to stay with grandma. They also share a warm hug. The next morning, the upset Connor breaks things on his way to the school. At school, Harry and his friends bully him again. But Connor doesn't raise his hands to them. He got beaten again that day. That day, Connor goes to his grandma's house. His grandma asks him to not touch anything in the house while waiting for his dad to come to get him. His grandma then leaves Connor alone and goes back to the hospital. Connor gets bored alone. He starts to draw and play around the house. Later, his dad comes and takes him out. They go to the amusement park and eat together. Connor tells his dad that he doesn't want to live with his grandma. He wants to move to America and stay with his dad. His dad takes Connor home. After learning that his dad might not have any room for him in America, Connor feels more upset. Connor is furious. He summons the monster by forcing the hands of the clock to show 12:07. The monster shows up and shares the second tale about a parson and an apothecary. In the story, a cold-hearted parson prohibits an apothecary from using an old yew tree to make medicine, only to reverse his decision when his children get ill. When the pharmacist declines to assist him, the monster starts to punish the parson by destroying his home. Connor doesn't understand why the monster punishes the parson and not the apothecary. The monster tells him that although the pharmacist was once greedy and rude, he is still a healer. The parson is the one who betrays his own beliefs by looking for the apothecary, when he breaks the latter's business with his preaches. He deserves punishment. Connor eagerly participates in the demolition of the parson's house, but he soon realizes that he has instead fiercely ruined his grandmother's sitting room. When his grandma gets home and is shocked by her sitting room situation, Connor feels sorry. Surprisingly, his grandma doesn't punish him. The next day, his dad comes again to get Connor. They talk from heart to heart. His dad says that he still loves Connor's mom, but their relationship doesn't work out. While visiting his mom in the hospital, his mom tells Connor that the doctors will try the last treatment option, involving Yew Wood. Connor has a hope that his mom will probably get better because, in the second tale, the monster once tells him that the Yew Wood can heal any kind of disease. That night, Connor begs the monster to heal his mother, but the monster ignores him and says it's not his problem. At the school's cafeteria, Harry declares that he will stop bothering Connor because he no longer sees him. Suddenly, the clock shows 12:07 p.m. and the monster appears in the cafeteria, starting to tell Connor its third story. The third tale told by the monster is about an invisible guy who resisted being such. The monster then supports Connor to attack Harry violently. Harry then is sent to the hospital and Connor is summoned by the headmistress. To his astonishment, the headmistress refrains from punishing him as she comprehends his current home situation. Connor is then sent back to his classroom, but the teacher gets a call from the hospital. It seems like Connor's mom won't gonna make it. After talking to his mom in the hospital, Connor feels very angry and upset. When it becomes clear his mother will die, Connor runs to the yew tree, where the monster forces him to relive his recurring nightmare. The monster demands him to tell the fourth story, the truth behind his nightmare. This time, we witness his mother clinging to Connor's hand while hanging precariously over a cliff. His mother eventually vanishes into the enormous pit as he gradually loses his hold. Connor is then confronted by the monster, who continually asks that he tell his fourth tale to release him. Connor begs not to because he fears that the truth will kill him. He can't tell the monster the truth. Connor eventually tells the monster the fourth story, confessing that he had long feared his mother wouldn't make it and had secretly hoped the suffering would soon be over. He keeps having dreams where he unconsciously lets go of his mother's hand and feels guilty. The monster praises Connor for his bravery, and explains that he only wanted to put an end to the misery, not wanting his mother to die. That night, Connor sleeps under the yew tree. His grandma finds him dozing off beneath the tree and gets him to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, Connor makes amends with his grandma. Connor apologizes to his grandma for all the things that he had done before. Both of them agree that they might not get along well, but they both love Connor's mom and are willing to make everything work out for them. At the hospital, he gives his mother one last embrace. She then passed away precisely 7 minutes after midnight. After his mom passed, Connor went back to his grandmother's house to live together with her. He is given his mother's former room, which has been renovated. There, he discovers his mother's childhood art book, which features illustrations of the tales the monster told him, as well as a depiction of his mother as a little kid perched atop the monster. The storyline of this movie is very sweet as it depicts the love between a mom and her son in a unique way. What do you think about the movie, peepers? Leave your comments below. Kindly subscribe to this channel for more similar videos. Please like and don't forget to turn on notifications for more updates. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.